Hey, today we are officially 1 week away from seeing the rare solar eclipse. On April 8th, people from all over will travel to areas that will be in the path of totality, some of which will be in our state. So joining me this morning to talk about how travelers can prepare for their trip is Enchanted Rock State Natural Area Park Superintendent Doug Cochran. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for inviting Texas State Parks to be part of Houston's morning.
Yeah, so I know that you guys have done a lot to prepare. You had to, because first tell us what the hill country will be like during the eclipse.
Well, we've been planning for this for over 2 years with local entities and Texas State Parks. We're planning for an influx of 100 to 200,000 people to the Texas Hill Country.
Yeah, and I know people who were lucky enough to reserve spots and get in there at the park have been planning for a while too. But tell us what the Hill Country will, tell us how people should prepare if they're planning to travel there.
Well, hopefully if they're coming to the state park, they have an advanced reservation. Many of the state parks, there's 31 parks, in the Texas State Parks that are in the path of totality. Many of those are already sold out. So you can check our reservation website if there's still some availability. But if you're planning to come, check where you're going to go, Fredericksburg, Hill Country, or any area in the path of totality, and see a safe place to go to. We don't recommend stopping on the side of the road for obvious reasons. Just find a great place to stop in a locality.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because since so many places are sold out, maybe people are thinking, oh, we'll just head that way and see what happens. Probably not the best idea.
Probably not, because that's just going to add to a lot of traffic on the roads and congestion that's going to impede people trying to get to the places they have reservations for. So check availability and where you want to go. And I'm sure that there are places in some of the smaller towns that may have some availability.
Yeah, so tell us then on exactly how the park is preparing. Is this just normally, I know you're going to have a lot of visitors, but then obviously you had to cap it for safety concerns. Is this just normally like when you have a full park, or did you do other things to accommodate even more people because this is such a special time?
Well, it's not so much about accommodating so many people. This is about the experience of a lifetime for many people. We want to make sure that they have an enjoyable experience, educational experience. This is something that hasn't happened in the Texas Hill Country for over 600 years, and it's not going to happen again for another 300 years or so. So we want to make sure that they have a really enjoyable experience, safety of our visitors, safety of staff, and we want to make sure that they have a really great experience.
Yeah, so then what have you guys done to prepare for that? I mean, differently, I guess.
Well, as you might know, we are a very busy park. We every weekend we are at capacity. So we have been planning for the last 2 years on this, developing plans, scenarios on what to do, staffing levels, how to get people in the park very, very quickly so they can get to their prime viewing spot that they want to get to. But we want to make sure that everyone is safe. We're going to do it very methodical and to make sure everyone has a great experience.
Yeah, so my producer put this question in here. Is it supposed to be treated like times of emergency? And I think, you just said that the Enchanted Rock is always at capacity. So what do we mean by that?
Well, I mean, we have, on any normal weekend, we have 400 permits that we sell per day. And those are usually sold out ahead of time. It's not going to be unlike this next week, next Monday, we're sold out. But we only had 250 permits because we have limited parking. So what we're doing is we have available parking. We're going to put people in. We're going to open the gates no later than 8 a.m. We're going to get people in within an hour and a half to 2 hours so they can get to the best spot on the summit to see the eclipse.
Yeah, absolutely. And are there special programs like education programs so that you guys will be there sort of explaining what's happening to people, or how does that work?
Absolutely. We're going to have some people that is going to be roaming around answering questions. We're also going to have some solar glasses in case people forget that. We want people to be safe. We don't want anybody to come away having a bad experience and because they didn't have solar glasses. So we want people to be safe. But we're going to have staff answering questions. We're also going to have our park interpreter that will have a solar telescope so people can see the sun, what it looks like, through a telescope with a solar filter, of course.
Yeah, what an incredible experience. Doug, we thank you so much for all of your work preparing for this, like 2 years out, so that people can have an enjoyable, once-in-a-lifetime experience. Good luck next week. Thanks so much.
Thank you for inviting Texas State Parks.